room. This is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
Right after the final buzzer, all eyes turned to the officials, and not in a good way. Indiana players openly criticized the lack of protection, saying it fit a troubling pattern. Clark's groin shot, J.C. Sheldon's eye poke, Marina Mabry's reckless foul. Every time the Fever faced the Sun, someone walks away hurt. But instead of folding, Indiana answered back. Behind Kelsey Mitchell's career-best 38, Odyssey Sims stepping up on a hardship contract, and Lexie Hull burying a clutch triple, they roared to a 99-93 overtime stunner. The big question now, how did a disaster of a first half transform into a comeback for the ages? Drop a speedy recovery Sophie in the comments to show your support.
Shot clock down to 6 for the Fever. Turner, up fade. Turner kicks it. Hull three-pointer. Bottom!
Indiana,
7 on the shot clock, 25 seconds in regulation.
they gotta get to the rim.
Charles has to hoist and connects. Wow. The Indiana Fever prove their resiliency.
Fever down! Now! Up in the chat. Yeah.
The uphill battle started even before tip-off. Indiana entered the night missing every one of their true point guards. Caitlin Clark remained out with her mid-July groin injury. Sydney Colson had already gone down with a torn ACL. Ari McDonald was sidelined by a broken foot. That left Stephanie White with no natural playmaker to run the floor. Instead of fine-tuning postseason sets, the Fever had to strip the playbook down, leaning on simple actions that wouldn't overwhelm players, forced into roles they'd never rehearsed.
After Phoenix, it was a quick turnaround to figure out, how we're going to play without, Ari and Sid. And now we got to figure out how we're going to play without Soph. And we've got to figure out, who can play in certain roles. What are our substitution patterns going to be? What kind of wrinkles can we throw out there? It doesn't get easier. And I think we come back and have Minnesota twice. Right, so it's really good mentally, physically, and emotionally for us, and then it gives us practice time, which we're going to need.
Then things worsened as the game unfolded. Midway through the second, Sophie Cunningham absorbed a brutal collision battling under the rim. She logged just 10 minutes before exiting for good. Her shooting and toughness had been vital to White's patched together rotations. Losing her meant more than missing a body. It meant losing spacing, the core of Indiana's offense. Suddenly, untested players carried heavier loads, while White and her staff scrambled to manage energy, matchups, and survival. By halftime, the bench looked dangerously thin, with gaps opening faster than they could be plugged.
We got Sophie Cunningham writhing around in pain, definitely hurt, and Sophie's one tough cookie. If Sophie's kicking and screaming like this, no Will Farrell, she's in pain. We even have Connecticut Sun players, look at that, Connecticut Sun players, Connecticut Sun training staff coming up to her as the Fever starts making their way down.
On paper, the Fever should have crumbled. Instead, they dug in, flipping chaos into grit. It was survival mode, but also a message. Fewer players didn't equal less fight. What the arena didn't yet realize was the night's most jarring moment hadn't even arrived. That came next when Cunningham's collision not only gutted Indiana's lineup, but reignited outrage over officiating that many already believed was endangering players.
Every day in our huddle, that's what we say together. And it's just more than words for us. I think when you see things happening, there's no other way. If you spread apart, the season goes down quicker than anything else. And we talked about with the injuries, people are probably expecting us to just fold, just like you said, and that's not us. We come in the locker room and we're motivated. We continue to be motivated every single time we step on that floor. At halftime, we're motivated, chip away, and that's our mindset. And just continue to uplift people. When one person goes down, we say it all the time, the next woman stands up. And that's really just been our motto and been what we've had to do a lot this season, and that's what we're just going to continue to do.
The season's scariest moment arrived on a second quarter drive. Bria Hartley lost her footing and fell directly into Cunningham's right knee. The sound alone froze the building. Cunningham collapsed, clutching her leg, screaming in pain. Unable to stand, she was carried off by trainers, as Indiana later confirmed she'd undergo an MRI. Even worse, no foul was called. That silence set off an explosion of anger in the stands and across social media.
How does she magically lower her shoulder into Sophie Cunningham's legs? Can somebody please explain that to me? Can somebody please explain those physics? Again, don't want to hear it, because this is a dirty player.
Fans instantly erupted, standing, waving, screaming at officials as Cunningham lay helpless under the basket. The game rolled on as if nothing happened. For her teammates, watching their starter carried away without so much as a whistle pushed. Frustration to the limit. Afterward, Coach White admitted her immediate reaction was raw, unfiltered, and not something she'd repeat in a press conference.
Do you have an update on Sophie? Yeah. Yeah, MRI tomorrow.
Sorry, just quickly on something. I mean, what's going through your mind when you see her down like that, and you're jogging over there?
I'm like, holy shit. I mean, especially the way that she fell, and how she was holding herself, and how much pain she was in. At the time, it's like crap, and then you go down there and you see her, and it's like, okay, just want her to calm down and be able to regroup.
For many, this didn't look like a freak accident. Not against this opponent. Memories of earlier collisions came rushing back. Sheldon's eye poke on Clark in June, Mabry's hard foul, Sheldon's knee to Clark's groin on July 15th. That's still keeping her sidelined. Each had been called reckless by fans and analysts who questioned why the league hadn't stepped up discipline. Against that backdrop, Cunningham's collapse looked less like misfortune and more like the latest failure to protect stars.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Should be. Scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
Tensions climbed when Cunningham's family spoke out. Her sister Lindsay tagged the league directly. Maybe focus less on finding players for comments about officiating, and more on hiring refs who can actually protect athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, this wasn't an anonymous fan, it was family. Her mother, Paula, went even further, briefly posting that Hartley played mean and out of control. Even after being deleted, those words carried weight, reinforcing the belief that this wasn't an accident but part of a dangerous pattern.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy. I believe this is Mama C. Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. Looked out of control to me. Maybe you should focus, her sister. Maybe you should focus less on finding players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are capable to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you. The only good thing positive surrounding Sophie Cunningham come out of this game, she looked in good spirits in the locker room.
At the core was accountability. Hartley's history of on-court clashes only magnified the outrage. Online, fans demanded suspension, while others called for the league to overhaul officiating standards entirely. The fact no whistle sounded as Cunningham was carried off the floor was the breaking point. But something else shifted too. Indiana redirected that anger into fuel. From that moment on, it was about resilience, about channeling the frustration through one player whose fiery takeover would not only rescue this game, but possibly redefine the Fever's season.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you too. Proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that sometimes it sounds like just a word when we talk about being resilient, but it's not, man. It's how we live. Yep. It's how y'all live, and it's a tribute to you. It's a tribute to your connectedness, your togetherness, your toughness, your mindset. Your never give up gritty attitudes. Like, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And
what do you think, Fever fans? Was this Indiana's most resilient win of the season? Or do you believe the league still isn't doing enough to protect players? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear from you. If you're riding with this team through every high and low, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a single update.